Well, hello there, everyone. How you doing on this wacky Wednesday? It's August 23rd, the year 2023. Also, if you're a day late worker Monday through Friday, it's hump day. So if you're a day worker Monday through Friday, you made it over the hump because you've been up 3 days in a row and you've got two left. So you're over that hump. And if you're like me and you're retired, financially independent, congratulations. It's another Saturday for you. So anyway, I'm Mazske Finance. I want to talk to you a little bit about how one of our goals should be progress, not perfection. How many of you are perfectionists? I'm just curious. Let me know below. And thank you for everyone who shares my videos. Thank you for everyone who comments, clicks the thumbs up, because all that stuff helps the YouTube algorithm, as they say. And thank you for all subscribers, both new ones and old ones. All right. So that being said, I'm Mazske Finance. I am not a financial advisor, not a CPA, not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. All right, so what do I mean by progress, not perfection? All right, on my channel, if you've watched many of my videos, you've heard me talk about investing in real estate. You've heard me talk about investing in stocks. You've heard me talk about investing in crypto. You've heard me mention farmland, wine investing, art investing. You've heard me talk about exercising. You've heard me talk about eating healthy. You've heard me talk about kayaking. You've heard me share a variety of stories, and so on and so on and so on. I've also have a playlist of 0 to 25 rentals, how I went from 0 to 25 rentals in 4 years. So what does Mazske mean by progress, not perfection? All right. When I think about society, I think about my former coworkers I worked with, people I know in life. I've lived in different states. I've met lots of people. Okay. Broadly, I can classify people in two categories. The folks who are perfectionists. And whatever they do, they are perfectionists. And if they get the skill, whatever that job is, they are known to be the best of the best, kind of like they're perfectionists. They get it done. But sometimes they can be hard drivers. If they're teaching you, they might be a hard driver because they want you to be perfect and they push, which can be good and bad, depends on your personality. And then broadly, I'll classify the majority of the rest of people as people who they don't even want to try. They don't like putting forth effort. They'll do the minimum to get by. Okay? All right. And if you are an investor, if you've bought your first rental house, if you've invested above and beyond your company's 401k and you open up a Roth, or you're accredited and you bought mineral rights, you are, in my humble opinion, a contrarian. You are not the normal type of person in this country. You're not the normal American. You're not the normal global person. Okay? Because the majority of, let's just say Americans, the majority of Americans do not invest. They are not interested in investing. Just look at the amount of subscribers on my channel. And then think about your favorite entertainer on YouTube. They might have a couple million subscribers and hundreds of thousands of views on each video. And they're entertainers. They don't have substance, or it's some topic that is fun to watch, it's educational, but it's not going to benefit you. My goal is to help you to improve your standard of living. My goal is to help you to improve your quality of life, your lifespan. My goal is to help you to live longer too. And while you're living longer, to get wealthy. Okay? See, I have big goals, don't I? All right. So progress, not perfection. I'll get to that topic here now. Anytime you do something, if you're one of those perfectionists, okay, I'm not talking to you because you're a perfectionist. But if you're everyone else, just make progress with whatever you do, okay? And I'm not saying you sit and make progress because you're studying your market. Let's say real estate, you're studying your market, and you keep studying, you keep studying, you keep studying, and you're spinning wheels. You got analysis paralysis. That's not making progress, okay? Making progress means you eventually pull the trigger, you make an offer. Maybe you don't get it. That's okay. If you don't get it, that's because you made a good offer. All right. Someone else paid more. All right. So you just keep on trying. You keep progressing. You keep trying to make progress. And eventually you will get an offer accepted. You will purchase a house, a rental property. Okay. Or maybe you want to buy individual stocks and you have a Roth IRA, and you heard Mazske talk about dividend stocks. You look at dividend aristocrats, because there's like 60 or 70 dividend aristocrats. Dividend aristocrats are companies that have increased their dividend. You know what a dividend is? Normally they pay out, on average, once a quarter, every 3 months. Sometime in the 3 months, they pay a dividend out, like money, like interest. If you own one share, you will get a dividend if they pay a dividend. All right, if you own 10 shares or 100 shares, you'll get each share gets that same dividend. So the more shares you own, the larger your dividend is. Now you can automatically reinvest those dividends in almost every broker out there to automatically buy more shares. If you only have 1 or 2 or 3 shares, you're only going to probably buy a fractional share. It might be a 0.011 piece of a share. But the next time, say you had 1 share, you get that dividend. I got 1.0011 or whatever I said. And the next month, you get 0.012 shares because now you have more shares, So it compounds. And you're not just going to have 1 share and stop. You're going to have more shares and it compounds, okay? You're making progress. And if you buy one rental house and you're getting positive cash flow of, say, $250, $300 a month, sure, some months you might not get that positive cash flow because maybe you had a large repair like that took all your rent for that month, okay? Or maybe you don't have any repairs for years and you just keep getting that positive cash flow. So now no matter what your status is in life financially, no matter how you saved up the money to buy that first rental house, now you have an extra $250 coming in, which means you should save up enough money for your next house just a little bit quicker, okay? You might have heard Mazske talk a little bit about having a self-directed IRA. Because many of you out there may have a IRA, like a Roth IRA. Maybe you own stocks in it. Maybe you own S&P 500. Okay, I have a self-directed IRA, and so does the missus. And when I found out about real estate and realized the power of it, I sold my stocks and transferred the money over to my self-directed IRA. Then as time went on, I found out about mineral rights acreage, and I purchased mineral rights acreage in my self-directed IRA. And then I purchased more because I would get the rent to go into my self-directed IRA. I would get the mineral right revenue to go in there. But now I have like the one rental house, 3 positions in mineral rights, I think. And one position is like 3.7 acres. The other one might be 2 acres and the other one might be 1 or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't have my spreadsheet in front of me. Okay. But anyway, the cash accumulates, and I was debating. I told a buddy of mine, 2 buddies of mine. One told me about taking some of the cash and transferring it back to Schwab, where my Roth IRA is, and they have a bond account that pays like 5 point something interest, or not interest, whatever the return. So I was going to transfer a little chunk of my money over there to Schwab, but then I changed my mind because an email came out yesterday. And I watched a video by Troy Eckert, and I'm going to make a purchase of 1 acre of a mineral right in my self-directed Roth IRA. All right, so I let my buddy at Eckert, Mike, know about this, and he's put me down to get 1 acre. So I haven't signed the paperwork yet. It may come out this week, or may come out by Friday, or may come out Monday, or whatever. I'll sign it, and then it'll usually take another week for the transaction to take place. And I think I have to, once I sign the paperwork, I'll let Quest know, that's my IRA company. And then I think I got to fill out some form with them, giving them permission or something to transfer the money or something like that. I've done it before, but it's been a while. So I'll be doing that. So then there'll be 1 more mineral right acre in that IRA. So what'll happen is then it'll take about 6 months till I start getting revenue in, but as time passes, I'm making progress, right? Then when I start getting that revenue check in, instead of getting 3 current payments in for 3 different portfolios and 1 rental house payment in there, now I'll be getting a 4th portfolio payment in there. Maybe it's $100, maybe it's $200, maybe it's $50, maybe it's $25, who knows? But a dollar is a dollar. My IRA is making progress and growing, right? And I do have something in the works. I'm selling that rental house in there. I love having rental property. I wish I owned that house outside of my IRA because I like that house. I like the area it's in. It's not in Gary, it's outside of Gary. I like the area it's in. It's a nice little house. I've been inside it. It's been rehabbed. I like it. But I've run the numbers and it's like as long it's in my self-directed IRA, so I always got to keep cash in there for cash reserves. Always taxes, insurance, and just to pay for the repairs. But in my IRA, once I'm 59 and a half years old and I can tap into it, maybe I don't want to keep just a chunk of cash in there. Maybe I need that cash for something. So I am making progress towards selling this house, and then I will purchase more mineral rights acreage as they become available. Maybe I can get another 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 acres, depends on exactly what the sale price of the house is. All right. So anyway, progress, not perfection. Someone put in the comments in yesterday's video that Mazke's perfect. Mazke isn't perfect. Mazke makes progress in life. Mazke, look at Mazke's video. Look, it looks like my cabinet behind me is crooked, right? Or am I sitting crooked? No and no. Is my phone in front of me crooked? Nope. I don't know what it is, but for this phone, it looks crooked. It's not crooked. I'm not. If you stood in this room and look behind me, it's not crooked back there, but it sure looks crooked. See, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect in anything I do. All right. I just strive to learn from my mistakes, and I'll still make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I may meet you one time and maybe I'm in a bad mood and I just say something wrong and I offend you, not meaning to, or maybe I do mean to. And my apologies if that ever happens, because I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. Or maybe I tell stories, right? Maybe I decide to drink a beer. And maybe I copy what I said in a story yesterday. Maybe I don't stop at 1. Maybe I drink 2 or 3 or 4. And maybe next thing you know, I'm staggering. I'm not perfect. And if I'm doing that, if I was out in public, something may happen. I could get in trouble, right? So my goal is to not ever do that, right? But I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. We're all human beings. Same thing with exercise, same thing with eating correctly. I was talking to another buddy yesterday, and we're just discussing food, and it's hard for him to change his diet because he's never eaten like that before. But it's like you make progress. Life is here to be lived. We're all going to live to be 100 years old at least, right? So we don't have to change like that. Sorry if I made a loud noise there by snapping my fingers. But as an example, if this person and you incorporate drinking a daily cup of green tea, I showed the kind of green tea I drink. You don't have to get that brand, but I found it to be one of the better brands I've had. Maybe you make that change this week. Maybe you start adding a little handful of nuts into your daily diet next week. I need to get my nuts for today, but I already had some almonds on my oatmeal. I will have some walnuts, some cashews, and some peanuts, and maybe some pecans. Just a handful, not too many, because they're high in fat. But I also got magnesium and zinc and that kind of stuff in there. So I will have the nuts. I got a couple kiwi over there. I will eat a kiwi or maybe 2. And I got an avocado over there, which might be ready today, or maybe I'll wait till tomorrow. Okay, so I'll make progress. It doesn't mean you need to eat exactly what I eat. Just make progress. All right. I've watched 8 videos over the last 8 days, and there's a bonus video I need to watch from last night. The first 8 videos were dealing with the gut microbiome. Okay. There was a variety in these 8 videos. Each one's about an hour long. In these 8 videos, there was a variety of different doctors and people in the medical profession talking about the gut microbiome, our bacteria. They're learning more and more and more about our bacteria. The bacteria in our bodies, and there's roughly 39 to 40 trillion of those little buggers all over us and inside us, okay? Primarily in our gut. When I say our gut, it might be our colon or our intestines, okay? But they're in there. And they do different things. They send signals to our brains. They send signals down to our toes. They send signals to our elbows and our knees and our wrist. Up to my mouth. There's bacteria in my mouth. There's bacteria in your mouth. There's bacteria in your nose. There's bacteria in your eyes. Okay, the bacteria are everywhere. All right, so you got to take care of these guys, because what happens is There's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of bacteria. Whole bunch of different kinds. They do different things. If you eat a kiwi, there's bacteria that like that kiwi. So if you eat one on a regular basis, that type of bacteria, which is a good bacteria, will grow. They will produce, they will reproduce, they'll have babies. There'll be more of them. Okay? And they will be healthy, and you help them, they help you. Whatever they might do, they do good things for you. You drink green tea, there's bacteria that like that green tea, and so on and so on. But if you eat a steak, the bacteria that like steak aren't necessarily good bacteria. There are some good stuff in steak, but you got to be careful. If you eat steak every day, you're feeding the bad bacteria. If you eat bacon and salami and processed meats and a hot dog, you're feeding the bad bacteria. Okay? If you eat potato chips and a piece of cake and ice cream and candy and processed food, from the supermarket, just a box, prepared food, you're feeding the bad little boogers. And if you make the bad ones stronger and they get stronger and the good ones, they weaken and there's less of them, that's when inflammation occurs. And when I say inflammation, you know what inflammation is. You bang yourself, you get a little redness and stuff, that's inflammation. But we have inflammation inside our bodies. Every form of cancer, Parkinson's, lupus, Alzheimer's, blah, 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 every single other disease, one of the first things that happens is inflammation. It's bacteria that contribute to that inflammation. The bad bacteria cause whatever the inflammation is in your body. So if you can prevent the bad bacteria from growing and developing, you can prevent inflammation in your body. So by doing this, diabetes and heart disease and Alzheimer's and lupus and fibromyalgia, how do you say that, and cancer and all these different things, cross them off your list, and hopefully you'll never get them. And if you do get it, maybe you're getting it when you're 120, not when you're 60 or 50. Okay? You make progress because your diet and your exercise is a lifelong journey. Yes, you can go for the hilt today. You pump iron, you bulk up, or you run a marathon. You do the best you can today, maybe, if you're that type of person. But can you maintain that all your life? Probably not. But you just make progress. If you just keep progressing, if you eat correctly, don't do it for a day or for a week. Just keep doing it. And yes, you will eat that ice cream at times. You will go to a Christmas party and eat a piece of cake. That's going to happen. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's okay. Don't worry about counting calories. If you're overweight, don't worry about counting calories. Count fiber. Eat more fiber. And you will find if you change your diet, magically, you will start probably losing some weight. Along with that, get something that'll measure your steps. You don't spend a lot of money. I got a cheap Fitbit, and whatever amount of steps you get in a normal day, try to increase it, make a little progress, do a little better, okay? If you can get down on the floor and do 2 push-ups, okay? That's 2 more than somebody that can't do any. And then try to do 3. Over time, try to do 4. You'll start doing 5 and you increase to 10. All right? If you can walk to the end of your block and you're huffing and puffing, by golly, do it again tomorrow. Do it again the next day and walk a little farther. And before you know it, you'll be walking around your whole neighborhood. You make progress. Just like when you buy your first rental house. It may take 3 years to buy your second. But then you buy your second. And maybe it takes 3 more years. And you buy your third. But then maybe it only takes 2 years to buy your fourth. And maybe the next year you buy your fifth. And 6 months later you buy your sixth. You're making progress. It's okay. It's not a race. It's not competition. It's not me against you. It's not me against anybody. It's not you against anybody else. Look at other people. Learn from others. You can even compare yourself to others, but don't let it bother you. Don't let it concern you. All right? Be like that little guy out there. He's just standing up there watching over me, right? He's like the little white angel on my shoulder. He's an angel. That's what he is. Uh-oh, what's that one up there? He's on that shoulder. Maybe he's the opposite. Okay? So anyway, just do the best you can in all you do. All right. Have a great day. This is getting long again. Remember, progress, not perfection. That's all you got to do is just make progress. So with that being said,